Well, hi everyone, I'm Sandra Godley. Listen, I just wanted to take a few moments to talk to you about something I've been talking a long time about, and it's about mental health. Now, I talk about this everywhere on the radio and the TV, but really wanted just to be a little bit more succinct and talk about some of my experiences. During lockdown, of course, it's been really hard for all of us. Some of us have lost friends and relatives. I lost my aunt, and that was traumatic, particularly because nobody in the family was able to say goodbye to her. But out of all that, there's some positives to take. And I just wanted to touch on a few little tips about how we can handle our mental health. In fact, let's get rid of the words mental health. I kind of think it's about the way that we think, our thoughts. Let's talk about our thoughts and how we can manage that a little bit more. So I've got some top tips on how to have a positive mental attitude. One of the things that I've learned over the last year, certainly, is to talk to people, to actually pick up the phone or use some medium to actually talk. I found that particularly when I lost my relative, and I heard about so many other friends who'd lost their partners and friends and family, it literally kind of went into reserve. And although that's great because it's quite a protection, isn't it, to sort of lock yourself away at home and have that me moment where you can actually reflect and heal. But if that prolongs over a long period, then there can be some challenges along the way. And I found that actually I was beginning to talk less and less to people. But more people have encouraged me to talk more. And the more I've done that, the more I've been able to reflect, to recollect, and particularly with loved ones that I've lost, I've been able to celebrate them and talk about them and describe them and remember the good, bad and ugly as a way of healing as well. So let's all just keep talking. And there are many, many ways of talking, not just the phone. You can send a note. Here's a question. When was the last time you actually wrote a letter? I'm trying to think of the last time I wrote a letter ages ago. But letter writing, using social media for the good that it can do by actually connecting with someone via social media, Facebook, all those forums are great ways of connecting. And there are some downsides to that, of course, but use it positively, and I think you'll see that it makes a difference. So talking to people really, really helps, no matter how or what medium you use. Try it, and see how that relates to you. I also have been thinking about what's going off in my head. I remember I was saying earlier that mental health, I think we should change the term to just thought life. You know, what's going on through our minds? Even now, as you're listening to me, are you kind of like checking me out? Maybe. But our minds can just lose focus so easily, can't they? Be distracted by all sorts of things. You aimed to do this, you aimed to go out and do some shopping, but really you got distracted by thoughts about other things that you wanted to get done in the day. And it's a regular habit, particularly for me. We need to handle and manage how we think. I'll tell you what I do sometimes. I put some little post-it notes around my home to keep me focused, particularly if there's something I should be doing. You know, it may be an appointment or it could be just sitting down and writing a letter. So I'll put little notes around my house to remind me and keep me focused and keep me feeling positive. I'll also remind myself of some happy times as well. Yeah, I write those down on post-it notes as well. So in the bathroom, that might be a moment where you kind of like pick up a post-it note like I would do and just remember a memory of someone, etc. So there's lots of different ways that you can include that as a positive way. But our thoughts can be overrun by all sorts of different thoughts, and you've really got to hold captive to the negative stuff, kick that out of the way. Talk about the person that is really special to you, be it someone you may have lost, but talk and celebrate the good people in your lives that are bringing that energy, that positive energy. You know, if these people make you laugh, include them in your day, talk about them to other people. It's a really, really interesting method. When we talk about the goodness of someone, it really helps the people that you're talking to feel good. So I'd recommend that as well. Positive thoughts, of course, are really good for the soul. Of course they are. They make you feel good. And when you feel good, you really want to pass on that feel-good feeling. And I have to remember at times that we're all the same. You know, I'm no different to you, and you're no different to me. We all feel, don't we? And some of us perhaps might be able to hide those feelings better. But, you know, we all hurt, but we also know how to be happy. We know how to recollect. We can experience all these things at different times, but we are all the same. So don't think that somebody is any better than you. They aren't. We're all the same. We all have feelings. We all have to go through grief. We all have to go through happy moments. That is life. And I think the sooner we learn that, the better. Also, one thing I wanted to mention very, very briefly is about our language, our self-language. What do we say to ourselves? You know, is it, oh, God, it's the morning, or, oh, God, it's the morning? You know, how we talk to ourselves is really, really important. And how my children and the people in my life hear me talk about myself is really important as well. So can I encourage us all to just ease off the negative stuff? No matter what you think about yourself, you are you. And nobody can change that. But we need to celebrate ourselves more and not talk ourselves down in the boardroom, at home, at work, wherever. Come on, there's only one of you and we only get one chance at this life. If you're feeling inadequate, there are moments where you can actually just pause and recollect and think, why do I feel inadequate? What is it that's got into my DNA, my psyche? It could be something you've heard on the radio, could be the news, a whole host of stuff. Give yourself time to just refresh and just get back into the game using positive thoughts. And then finally, all I want to say is that a big subject as well, which I talk about a lot, about our behaviour and about our thoughts, is the fear that hangs around us. It's like an invisible layer, an invisible blanket that can envelop us every day. I had moments in my life where I'd wake up and literally there was just fear ready, just as, you know, dominate my day. And it was fear of not being successful that day, fear of forgetting something, a whole load of stuff. That's before I got out of bed. But we need to handle those fears, don't we? And I think you and I can talk to our fears and say, nah, not today, not today, absolutely not happening. I'm going to shape my life for it to be really, really positive. So deal with fear before it takes a hold of you. And in fact, on my album, which I'm going to show you now, my latest album, Reflections, this has got a song that talks about not today, fear, it's not happening, it's not coming your way. And so listen, here's a little plug for me. Buy my album, there's a lot of reflections on there, songs that will kind of encourage you to just move on and not be so tied up with behaviour, with how you talk to yourself and what other people have said to you as well. All right, so I hope that has been helpful for you and gives you some insight into how I handle my behaviour, my thoughts, and maybe that's something you can take on board as well. All right, that's it. Go to my website, www.sandra.org, and you can find out more information, how to connect with me. I've got lots more to share with you over the next coming months. You take care.